Didify gives you a way to automatically generate front-end and back-end actions for functionality common to most apps. To do this, choose a table such as the To-Dos table over here and click the Generate Actions button here. From inside the pop-up, it will ask you which of the standard front-end actions and back-end actions you want to create for each chosen table. For example, do you want to generate front-end actions and back-end actions that would allow you to create one new record in the To-Dos table, get one record from the To-Dos table, get all records from the To-Dos table, update one record inside of the To-Dos table, and delete one record from the To-Dos table. In our case, let's toggle off all of the options except for the options to create one new record in the To-Dos table and get all records out of the To-Dos table. Lastly, click Generate Actions. This will generate the front-end actions and back-end actions required to get all of the data out of your To-Dos table and show this on your front end. It will also generate all of the front-end actions and back-end actions required to create a new record in your To-Dos table. You can see the back-end actions that were automatically created under the Back-end Actions tab over here. There is a Create To-Dos action that will create one new record in your To-Dos table. You can see this here. If I click on this action, you can see exactly what the action does. So the action has one event in it, and this event is creating a new record in the To-Dos table. Click back to exit the action. Next, you can also see the front-end actions that were created when I click the Generate Actions button. These are in the Page Builder tab. Click the Front-End Actions button and search for the Get All To-Dos and Create To-Dos actions here and here. So these front-end actions are going to connect to these back-end actions, and these back-end actions are then going to write data into the To-Dos table and also fetch data from the To-Dos table and send that information back over to the front-end actions. As well as the front-end actions and back-end actions, we also created variables. These variables can be seen under the Variables tab on the front end. You can see here that we have two new variables that have been created. There is a Form Create To-Dos endpoint variable and an All To-Dos variable. Notice that the data types on these variables are different. The Form Create To-Dos endpoint variable is a variable of type model, and the All To-Dos variable is a variable of type collection. The Form Create To-Dos endpoint can be used to collect up data on the front end of your app. It will then pass this data into the front-end action, which will pass it to the back-end action, which will then create a new record inside of your To-Dos table. Let's try to bind the Form Create To-Dos endpoint variable to this input box so that when a user types into this input box, this will enter data into the Form Create To-Dos endpoint variable. To do this, select the input box, click the cog icon here, and then bind the input box to the variable in the normal way. Notice that the Form Create To-Dos endpoint variable has two fields in it. There is an ID field and a To-Do item field. These are the two fields that are inside of the To-Dos table. Choose the To-Do item field here and click OK. Lastly, click the Add New To-Dos button and set this button up so that whenever a user clicks on this button, this will start the Create To-Dos front-end action. You can do this using the Actions tab over here. After you've selected the button, you can associate it with this action. Once this is complete, let's build the code. And once the code has been built for our app, let's return to the live app and click the Refresh button over here. Now you can try adding a new to-do here into this input box. And once you've added the to-do, click Add New To-Do. This has created a new to-do on the back end of the app. To see this, you need to go back into Didify and go down to the Data Models tab. Then click the two tables to refresh the table, and look, here you can see the new to-do that I entered into the input box on the front end of my app. Pause the video now and try generating your own set of front-end and back-end actions. After you've done this, bind the text input box with your variable that you want to send over to your to-dos table on the back end of your app.